So last class we have seen the Salesforce objects, which is a standard objects and custom object, right? And also we have external objects. What is this external object? And when do we use an external object? As the word it says external. That means these are going to be used for the external purpose. External objects are similar to the custom object. It is similar to the custom object, but except the map, what are the mapping of the data is there or the storage. So custom object storage is within the Salesforce, but external object storage is outside the Salesforce. The storage is different. So external object. External objects are similar to the custom object, but the storage is, it's a completely outside of the Salesforce. So we are trying to bring the external storage objects. What are the external objects are there? Those objects we wanted to bring it to the Salesforce and store it into the Salesforce. And each external object relies on the external data source. Whatever the changes or whatever the data is available, everything is relies on the external data source, because whatever the changes are happening in the external system, that the same changes or the same data we will be getting into the Salesforce. Right, so this is basically enables the user Lightning platform search and interact with the external data. So let's say, for example, now I have a hierarchy system. Now this hierarchy system is having the data in the form of SQL. They are using the SQL at the backend. So they are using the so many objects they have. Now this side I have a Salesforce. In the Salesforce, we have one of the option that I can refer the external objects and I can store it, because sometimes what I need to do is my objects are there. My objects has to look to the external system. Based on that, I need to perform certain activities. So this is the functionality. In that case, what we will do is we will try to get the whatever these objects are there, we will try to get it inside the Salesforce. In order to get this inside the Salesforce, this hierarchy system has to provide one JSON file. They have to provide JSON file. So using this JSON file, I'll pull all the objects, fields, and data within the Salesforce. So let's see how to create external objects. Now, to create external objects, go to the setup and just search for a external. So here you have the external data source, external objects, external services. Now first go to the external data services, external data source. So external data source, it says that access the data in Salesforce or as well as the third-party database and content system. So if you want to access any third-party system, objects, fields, and data also, if you want to bring it, you can use it here, which is called as an external data source. By using this, you can bring it. Now the next one, which we have a external objects. External objects. So this external objects, it is based objects is nothing but external data we are pulling into the Salesforce and storing into the Salesforce object. Right? So if you click on the new external object, it will ask you certain information. What is the object name? And it is normal object creation, right? But you need a certain data from where you are pulling the data, that you need to define it. And then you have the external services. External services are nothing but, let's click on this external services. So external services, it is going to ask you that what is the total registration, active operation, total operation. These all information it is going to give you. So if you want to add external services, you can add external services here. So it is going to give you the information of the route to MuleSoft. Like we have another third-party system which is called as a MuleSoft. Do you want to use the MuleSoft services to create external services, or do you want to use the API services? Now let's say first step is we need to go to the external data source. Click on this new external data source. In this external data source, let's say I'm going to keep the external data source name, which is called as a order DB. And here type which type of a external data source are you going to implement? Are you going to implement with Amazon? If the Amazon is there, there are two types of are there. So DynamoDB and the Athena. So these are the two different Amazon connections. If it is a Salesforce connect, we have a different type of authentication data is there. 2.0, 4.0, 4.01 or a federated search. For Salesforce Connect crossover, you can use anything or simple URL if you want to provide it. So let's say I'm going to select here 4.0. When I select a 4.0, this second section will be expanded and it will ask you to provide the URL here. Let's say, so this is a URL, Hierarchy URL. This is Hierarchy URL. In this Hierarchy URL, I have, I got it from the one of the link. So from the trial head, so they have provided the JSON file. So this is the XML file. So this is in this XML file, I have a different objects. Objects are order details, orders, category, payment mechanism, subcategory, payments. These are the different objects are available. So when I pull the objects, it has to pull the fields as well as the data also it has to pull. So I'm going to provide this URL. Copy this URL and click on this, and as it is, I'm keeping it. Format is JSON. If you want a JSON or auto PMB. So if it is a format of auto POP, then we can use it here. So simply I'm using the JSON. Now this is all this information is if you have any certificate, you can use a certificate. Identity type, it's up to per user. Do you want to have the identity type or anonymous? Let's say everybody can access. Let's click on save. Once we click on a save, it will give an option to validate and sync. Now, if you go down, we have a custom HTTP header, external object. If I click on a validate and sync, it is going to ask us, what are the object do you want to take it? I want to take the order details and order, both of the external objects. Do you want to specify any name of the field? Like, do you want to use any existing field? You can specify the name field. And click on sync. Now, do you want to sync it in the background? Just check here, sync in the background. Now, go ahead and click on the sync button. Perfect. So there is a one error which is happened. Refresh. Validate sync again. Let's take order DB. Order details, click on a sync. EDM data type, date time is not supported. Okay. So we just created the order DB, right? This is the one which we have created.
When do you usually create these? If you're connecting with an external like Amazon, like you said?
Yeah.
Why would you connect with Amazon?
I'm not connected to the Amazon. I'm connected to the Salesforce Connect. I did not use the Amazon. I have connected to the Salesforce.
And what does Salesforce connect to?
If you have a third-party system, which is the Amazon, you can go for it. So let's say
Okay.
I'm going to create another one here. Let's say click on a new external data source.
Okay.
Let's say I'm giving the new one, which is called as a hierarchy. Now here type, you have a different options we have. If your third
Okay.
system is Amazon, then you can use
Mhm.
Amazon. Right now, assume that my third party system is also Salesforce Connect and OData 2.0. It does not support others. So 4.0 it does not support. Then in that case, you can use it. So here, OData 2.0. Okay. So I can create only one external data source. Let's click on delete. Click on new external data source. Whatever the data I'm going to pull it, the type of data is which is compatible with the Salesforce Connect or data. I'm going to provide the URL. This is the hierarchy one. Copy. Select the hierarchy URL. And by default, as it is, I'm taking everything same and click on save. Now, there are no external objects yet. We have to validate it. So click on validate and sync. Let's say order details, order these two. I wanted to sync it. Click on a sync. If you want to sync in the background, you can select the sync in background. No. So there are two objects are created. Now this time it is a perfect able to pull the data, right? So what are the external objects are there? Now I can see there are two external objects are created. So if you want to validate, you can validate. Click on this validate. So what will happen if you click on the validate? It will take you to the what are the query type is there. So based on this, like this is a select query and this is the order unique ID. Based on that, if you click on a run queries, it will validate whether the data is proper or not. Now, if you go back to the external objects, now you can see there are two objects which are external. So from the hierarchy system, we have pulled the data to here, right? So order details. So this is how we create a external objects from the third party system pulling the data.
Do we get data in that? Do we get data also in that?
Yes, we will get it. So if you go here, duplicate. Right now, it will not be available. It's just an object. We are yet to create another step for this. Okay, wait for that. We will create another step, then you will be able to see. So right now, only part is that pulling the data, pulling the object from the third party system. Now, whether the data is available, can I see this object in the app launcher? If I go to the application, Salesforce application, on this order, right? So we do not have a order. Order DB order is not there. This order is a different. This order is a Salesforce order. This is Salesforce order. But the one which we have created is order details. So we cannot see that information here. Why we cannot see this information? Because there is another step which is pending. So we will do the another step, then you will be able to see. Now for the external object, this is the overall. So if you want to pull the object from the or a data or a object fields from the external system. Now if you go to the object, open this object, now you will be able to see the object and the object API name is __ X. Like if it is a custom object __ C. If it is a external object, it will be __ X. And it says that name field is external ID. And here you have a fields within the external objects, right? So these field, did we create the field? No, we have not created the any field. So it is, we have pulled it from the another system. And this is the page layout. And these are the standard fields. So everything, search layout, button, links, everything is created similar to the Salesforce custom object. Salesforce custom object. Right, so this is what we have created right now. That's about the external object.
So